Sammy would love to give the Japanese fans something to shout about.
And they're always going to do it tough, aren't they? I mean, this is their first time they've been on the world circuit as a team, you know, of the 12 at every tournament. They're really small players, they're still learning, but they're really fighting well.
And you know what I love about them? They play with a smile on their face the whole time, and even their attitude around the team hotel, you can see they're really enjoying being here and taking part in this HSBC 7 series. First touch of the game for Takeuchi, and Brazil has tended to start slowly in these last two games, particularly against England and France. Let's see if they can hit the ground running with Ichibashi, and the first touch for her. Estevez takes the pass inside the Japanese 22. Here is Santini, one try to her name already. Edna Santini, look for the wraparound. It would have been ideal because of the two-player overlap. Quick tap and go by the Brazilian number 4. Santini back inside to Estevez. Japanese defending here in the opening minutes in the final game in Pool C. Again, the penalty conceded, got to be careful. 2-on-2 out wide. It's Kokan. Delayed the pass, looking for the inside run. She doesn't need it. The Japanese defence asleep at the wheel. And Kokan touches down for the opener for Brazil.
In normal rights, you wouldn't be able to score that try because defensively, the tackler should be able to reel you in because she was running sideways there, Kokan. But you can see there it was Yamanaka who let her run around. She's got good pace, no doubt about that. Japanese defence asleep and Brazil strike first.
Yeah, Yamanaka will not want to see a replay of that one. Just lost her foot at the crucial stage, and the extras added. Brazil 7 points to the good against Japan, and the home fans banging the drums in appreciation.
This is when I like Brazil, when they do use the hands, put the ball through, send it off to their wingers. They've been guilty of taking it back into the traffic quite a bit.
So Kokan is going to restart. Chasers really all on the right-hand side here for Brazil. And it's a beautiful hanging ball. Just gives the Brazil covered chasers a knock on from a Japanese hand there. So advantage not coming to Brazil. We'll have a scrum. But again, pressure on the Japanese.
Oh, look, absolutely. She looked up. She saw a wall of yellow jerseys heading her way. Distracted her for that moment. Just pop forward.
There's the feed by Santini, trying to wriggle away free, and the pass to Ishibashi, just about finding her fingernails. Dug out from the back of the ruck by Campos. Pass wasn't a good one. Santini, an equally poor one, but it's effective. I tell you, it's very effective because Mulbauer stretches the legs over the line. Brazil have their second. It was unorthodox. It wasn't very pretty, but who cares? Brazil are 2 tries to the good.
Absolutely fantastic. It might not have been pretty, but because it was so unique, that defence from Japan just didn't get a chance to reorganise. And they're happy out there, aren't they? Hello, back home. When they move the ball, Brazil, that's when they're so good because they're such quick little agile players and they've got huge engines. They keep working. There it is, just picked it up. It was Takeuchi, the number 4, who just didn't anticipate that ball bouncing up.
Well, I can tell you that the assistant referee didn't give the conversion. It went over the bar, and the assistant referee did not give it. He thought it went underneath. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here right watching it. Incredible decision. We might get a chance to see it later on, but I can tell you, Kokan was staring at the lines, waiting to put up the flag. Never came. Advantage being played to Brazil and Santini. Here is Kokan. She doesn't care about the conversion now because she has possession and she's got 2 Japanese, Koida included, trying to rip the ball off for Santini. It's all Brazilian samba at the moment. Japan cannot live with the pace of the host nation. Still with possession. Japan have not touched the ball, bar a restart which they managed to knock on. And there's the lovely hands over the outside. Chance to take on one-on-one here for Estevez. Leaves it for dead and over that line. There is only one team playing rugby. They've got yellow jerseys and they are from Brazil.
Well, I hope that Estevez doesn't take offence, but that try was like it was in slow motion already because she was so tired. She'd done so much work elsewhere on the pitch. She got that ball at the end, probably didn't really want it. There it is. And beat the defence there just with that little shimmy. Nowhere near it. And then fitness gets her over. Should be wanting to.
I tell you what, they're happy about that. South African jersey, Brazilian flag. Only one team to support here. South Africa obviously aren't involved this season. Conversion attempt from Kokan. Pushes it left. That one definitely did not go over. So, correct decision. 2 minutes to play in the first half.
What I'm loving too about Brazil is fast ruck ball, isn't it? And that means they're getting the momentum, they're going forward. And then individually, they're really taking the line on, backing themselves.
Japan are shell-shocked at the moment. And Brazil doing their points difference. No harm whatsoever. With 3 tries so far. High ball for the restart.
Rock.
90 seconds to go. Brazil told it even now. Japan with their first real taste of possession in this game. Incredibly. What can they do with it? Tackle wrapped up Kuwait. No room to move for her. Again, Ishibashi and Santini combine to release Brazil out of the traps here. She runs all the way across the field. They say never do it, but I tell you what, that was effective. Little step back inside, Araujo, little pop ball, and it's going to be another one for Kokan. Brazil in free flow at the moment. Japan are being walloped.
Well, where was this team when we started this tournament in the last 2 games? They finally found a bit of spice out there, their mojo. They're doing the samba. This is fantastic. It was the experience of Ishibashi combined with Santini running across the field. Once again, a good defensive system would mop that up, but who cares because Kokan, it's her 4th try of this tournament so far.
Almost a kamikaze run from Santini, crossed the pitch. I kept waiting for the Japanese defence just to come up and make the hit. It never came. Here was the conversion attempt, and the flags stay down. Who needs conversions when you can score tries for fun? And Kokan and Brazil are flying it at the moment. Japan yet to register a single point.
Quick. Play immediately.
Well, one more restart before the halftime break. It's not going to go 10. That was a pretty poor effort. We'll go back for the scrum because, or even the free kick, I should say, because there will be time for Japan to have a go. I mean, a try before the break might give them something to cling on to. I don't fancy being Kiko Asami having to make the halftime team talk. I don't fancy the players having to listen to it, in fact, because it's going to be the riot act, which is Japan over the 10-metre line. Hands to keep that alive. Little twist and turn. And the pop ball. It could be opportunity here for the Japanese, and it's Yoko. Oh, yes. Well, maybe they've spared themselves complete annihilation from the coach because Japan hit back right at the stroke at half-time. Yoko's 3rd try in the 7th series.
And what I loved about this try was the bend. Yes, it was opportunist at this point, but look, in your face, baby, I'm off. Love it. Started playing at 6 years old, this young lady. One of the few that comes from a 15s background.
So 5 points in reply for Japan. The conversion, well, I won't even begin to describe it because it was a shocker. But Brazil, samba rugby in the first half here in Sao Paulo. The crowd loving Japan with 1 try at the death to bring them ever so slightly back into this game. Japan 5, Brazil 22 at the break.
All right. What we need to do is keep on going the same way. What we did is went one way with Edna, and then the link stayed there. They should have gone again. Even though we scored, keep going the same way. It's ball control. Keep playing on the vantage line. Be more accurate. There's a couple of loose passes. We're getting a little soft, okay? Hit them off with your hip. Yep.
Doesn't look like he's giving him the right act.
No.
It's very calm.
Sometimes the deadliest attackers come in silence.
We go hard, we play that.
I don't know what that means.
Defense, it's shoulder on.
A gente tem que meter o
Okay,
ombro
we're
dentro.
holding
defesa.
on.
Está segurando
Drive
ela.
them back and then counter
Vamos
right
botar
if you
ela
get
pra trás, não
underneath them,
contra
get in the
Huck.
hole.
Vamos enfiar a cabeça
Entendeu?
no buraco, acabou?
So the game plan that Brazil are putting out there is one they practiced against France last week when the French turned up for some practice games, and he talked about attacking the advantage line. In the first two matches that we saw today, they were quite deep, and when you're deep, what you're trying to do is just to get it really wide, and it gives you the space to get it wide. But actually Brazil, this suits how they play, really physical, because they're so nippy and quick.
And I tell you who else is going to suit. Bianca Silva has just come on. Now, we've seen what she can do given a bit of space. The problem for Brazil against France and England was that they had no room every time they got the ball. But the way that Japan are defending and the way Brazil are playing, she gets into a bit of room. Good night, good luck, and see you next time. Brazil got to the restart, and she might get a touch here if they spread this ball. Got to win the ruck first. That's exactly what they do. Happy to keep it tight for the time being and take it in by substitute Ramayo. Going to work that blindside. Ishibashi, nice hands. Berent off the bench as well. So Chris Neal happy to bring in some fresh legs. See how that works out. Brazil keeping it tight. Well, we saw in the first half they were throwing it around into space for fun. Now they're using pick and go strategy. Doesn't quite fit with the manner in which they're playing in that first time. Ishibashi is bungled up, but told to leave it.
Oh, smart. Knocked it on so she could get the penalty.
Now, if they spread this one wide, Bianca Silva calling for it. Here she is. Not much room there. Oh, there is though. Little twinkle toes is off. She's off and away. No, needs a bit of help. Just couldn't get rid of the last offender. And a little pick off the back from Campos. Silva offload down this blind side. Julia Sarda still there for Brazil. Campos once more runs into a wall of white jerseys and into trouble. Can they recycle it? It's a scrap on the ground there. Someone's going to have to let go. Brazil, I think, doing just enough to retain possession. Silva looks for offload. Oh, lovely little hands back inside. And this is Sarda. Sarda opens the legs but can't get the pass away. Good defending from Japan. Advantage being played to the Japanese. Brazil, just that mistake. We haven't seen too many.
Nice though, eating up the meters, and I loved what Silva put out there before. She stopped and restarted, and still she had the pace to nearly get on the outside.
There's the feed, Japan from well within their own 22. The pass, well, you can see what the idea was, but execution didn't quite live up. And Brazil with a chance to go again here. There's very little room on this blind side. Ball back towards Ramayo. Good support work there from Berent to clear it out, and it is Berent who comes away with it. They need to tackle her. Japan desperate defending from Kanimatsu. And they get it to turn it over, but it's illegal. Hands in the ruck.
Well, that's when they had to move it.
Ishibashi reaches! And a penalty against double movement. I did wonder the referee go against her. She was held in the tackle, which means you must release. And double movement, Japan break out of their own 22. Tomita. Under 4 to go. Brazil in control from their dominance in the first half. Yet to have a try in the second. Japan keeping it alive here. Need to get it out to the speedsters. Koida can move, I can tell you. Any room through. Nice offload. Good retention. Oh, the pass again doesn't get a plan. Santini needs a bit of help. Or does she? No, she's heading him off. Willy-nilly. Inside the 22, Santini. Pick and go. Ishibashi. Pop ball. Campos. Just short. And the knock on by Japan.
I love the two little pocket rockets out there. Santini took them a while to get it down, combined with Ishibashi. Wow, they may be small, but they're dangerous.
Tell you what, the referees covered a hell of a lot of ground today because it has been end-to-end stuff. A couple of substitutions coming in.
Okay. Time back on.
Scatrud coming on for Brazil. She might have to wait for a minute.
Time's off. Wait. 3, 2. Number 2. Number 2. Dots.
So it's Luisa Campos is going to go off.
Take it.
Scatrud comes in, and Santini to feed the scrum. Now,
Set.
interesting to see what they decide to go for here. They're working the open side. Santini needs help. Swallowed up. She takes an awful lot out of the ball from the scrum every time, Santini. And opposition defences are onto her now.
Yeah, well, her teammates have to actually support her in that and be available for the offload to take the pressure off as well. If we've predicted she's going to do that, then teammates should be right up there with her.
Absolutely.
Take it. Please engage. Don't push. Crouch. Bind. Set.
There's the feed. Ball just about gets out of the scrum. Ishibashi hands up. No, the dummy will do it. The dummy will do it for Ishibashi. Back for Brazil and back with a bang.
Well done, heads up play. Saw it open up in front of her. The big dummy came on and she just went for it. There it is. She had 2 outsider, just the 2 defensive players there. Didn't need them. Beautiful.
The lungs must be burning. First start of the day for Ishibashi, and she has put herself about, I can tell you. And that try no less than she deserves. Conversion attempt. No. So 27 points to 5. Brazil still very comfortable in the first score of the second half, with 90 seconds left to play. Well, interesting to see if they can carry over this kind of form into tomorrow, but certainly it's taken a couple of games for the host nation to find their rhythm.
Yeah, well, they toured South Africa earlier this year. They had 8 games. The first match they lost, they won the next 7. And they just take a little bit to settle, don't they?
Japan, you have to say, just look tired out there at the moment. Beautiful hang and restart, 10 metres out. They went forward,
Not called by yellow.
but
From white.
absolute precision for the kick.
Yeah, the kick was beautiful, wasn't it?
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Now, Japan, can they finish with a bang? They're going to try at the end of the first half. Can they get another one to wrap up this match? They won't win, but I tell you what, pace on the outside. It's going to be a foot race. Silva comes off to make the tackle. The pass back inside from Yamaguchi goes straight to Brazilian arms, and the attack will come to nothing. Here is Bianca Silva, not the biggest, so takes that tackle.
Okay, advantage is over.
Advantage over, says the referee. Brazil, 10 seconds left to play. Plenty of tries in this one. Oh, misread there. Japan thought about the pounce, but the bounce got away from them. Ruck is called by the referee. Dug out the gap there by Scatrud. Again, the pass wasn't particularly good. Santini twisting and turning, running into trouble, bounces off one, touches it down. And advantage was being played for offside. Ishibashi is down on the ground, exhausted.
Oh, well, they all are. I mean, that's why the passes are going awry at this point, because
Party time in the stands.
it always is.
I'm
So
heading over
cool.
there in about 20 minutes.
Good luck.
That's where all the parties are happening, and the final whistle goes, and that is that. A brilliant first half of rugby. Second half didn't quite live up to it, but Brazil very, very comfortable in the end. They win out, their first win, by 27 points to 5.
Amanhã joga de novo, com o adversário a ser definido, dependendo dos resultados das outras seleções.